So these guys are getting royally screwed, all right? But they just bought a new $1.2 or $1 million or $1.3 million fire truck that's so big that it can't even fit down most of the streets in Camden.
Huh.
Okay? I worked for the City of Camden Fire Department, and I have kept my mouth shut for years about Camden Fire Department and the reason I left there. These guys right now are living in the basement of City Hall because their living quarters burned. It has smoke damage from a fire in the attic. Okay? So it's unsafe for them to sleep in the living quarters upstairs. So now they've been in the basement since that fire. But
Wasn't no insurance?
they've been fighting over the insurance. It's a mess. But they're allowed to go up there, and they have to use the showers upstairs. They have to use the bathroom facilities upstairs. They have to cook in the kitchen that's upstairs. And they let these guys sit and watch TV up there at night. And they're not allowed to watch TV until 9 o'clock, until after 9. So if the people of Kershaw County care about the firefighters and first responders, nobody's paying attention to what's happening in the Camden Fire Department. These guys get a 1% pay increase every year, right? The rate of inflation is 9%, is what the government says. These guys got a 1% pay increase. So Camden firefighters are getting a 1% pay increase this coming October, okay? The budget goes into effect in July, but they pushed their pay increase till October. Something else that's happening in October is their insurance rates are increasing by 4%. So these guys not only get a pay cut every year because of inflation, they're getting another 3% pay cut because of their insurance that they have to pay for out of pocket. They pay for their insurance. And this is just basic health insurance. They don't get short-term disability paid for, long-term disability. If you get hurt there and you don't have that insurance, you're like on workers' comp. So these guys are getting royally screwed, all right? But they just bought a new $1.2 or $1 million or $1.3 million fire truck, new rescue truck, that's so big that it can't even fit down most of the streets in Camden.
Huh.
Okay? They were talking about buying this when I was there right before I left, and it was.
I remember when they were discussing.
They were measuring out how big it was and see if it's going to fit in the station. It's freaking massive, and we were all saying, like, why are we buying such a big fire truck? We just get a small rescue truck with no pump on it, no water, just a rescue truck to hold our gear for rescuing people from vehicle accidents or rescuing somebody who fell off a.
But the central planners knew better.
Well, one guy. Two, the chiefs, right? They're the ones who control. Their kind of way of leadership is saying, if I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. That's So these men. And I don't know if they have any females working for them, so I'll just say men. Work for Camden Fire Department, only getting 1% pay increase. Their insurance gets more expensive every year, so that's basically a pay cut. Every Friday, these firefighters, instead of training, like they should be doing, they wash all of the chief's vehicles. Every chief has a take-home vehicle.
All right.
Brand new Tahoes, brand new pickup trucks.
They got some nice vehicles.
Well, yeah, the chiefs do.
Yeah.
So every Friday, these firefighters have to wash and chamois off every chief's vehicle. They take them over to the city lot and put fuel in them. These chiefs don't even know how to put fuel in there. They don't know how to use the fuel pumps over at the city lot. Okay? And we found that out back during COVID when we weren't allowed to get in. They didn't want us to be driving the chief.
Oh, yeah. You might spread the Rona.
One chief will call over and be like, hey, how do you get into this gate? How do you get into the gate to the city lot? What's the code? And how do you use a fuel pump? Come over here and show me how to use a fuel pump. I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. This is crazy. All the guys that they don't do any real training, right?
Right.
Like like when I moved to a different fire department, I made sure that training was our priority. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken the job. But the guys there are so dedicated to their jobs that they stay there. But there's a massive turnover problem with the City of Camden Fire Department. But you have a core of real firemen that are hanging on, doing the thing. And
it's a rare thing that somebody gets power and doesn't abuse it.
Yes. What I would say is the people of the City of Camden, go ask the chief there. Go take a tour of your fire department.
If you're going to have government, one of the essential services is fire.
Yeah, especially when
Now, parks and recreation and all is not essential.
No.
But putting out a fire at your house seems like pretty essential.
So instead of training, they're washing and fueling the trucks and vehicles. Instead of training, they go to park bench dedications. Instead of training, they're used like servants, porters around the city. They'll help the historic society move books from the basement up to the next floor, or they'll go raise and lower the flags around the city. They'll do all sorts of little chores and projects that the chief will say, "Oh yeah, I'll send the guys right over."
Right.
No, it doesn't matter. You could be in the middle of the class. They'll stop the class. Hey, I need 2 guys to go over to the archives and move some boxes,
Right.
or I need you to go set the clock over, at the archives, or we need. It's all busy, bunch of
Well,
big,
they ought to give them some hand pumps and Roundup and go around these curbs and all,
Well-
and spray some Roundup up there and give us all some cancer, and then we could have a class action lawsuit.
Well, they do that around the fire hydrants. They have to maintain the city fire hydrants. So they'll send a guy out in the heat of the summer. They'll send a guy out to weed eat around the fire hydrant. They'll flow it, check the flow rates,
Right.
and then they'll repaint them every year. So every day, Monday through Friday, there's a firefighter that they take off the shift and send them out in the pickup truck to go maintain all the fire hydrants,
Right.
which should be the water crew's duty, right? They're more educated on how to do that than a firefighter. We learn how to fight fires. We don't learn how to maintain hydrants. The city of
Right.
Camden does.
Right.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of that going on where it's not my job.
Yeah. So I've kept my mouth shut about Camden Fire Department, and people always ask me why don't you say anything? You know what's going on there. Why haven't you said anything? I'll say this because Camden Fire Department has had a soft spot in my heart. I love the guys there. I love my time there and helping the people of Camden, and doing all But it was the extra bullshit that the chiefs would have us doing that I just couldn't stand it because we weren't training. We weren't practicing on perfecting our craft.
Yeah.
We were going out there and fighting fires, and there was only about 5 of us that would actually fight fire.
We in economics terms call that misallocation of resources.
Yeah. It's
And the government is a wonderful tool of that. Now, if that was a private entity, it would be held accountable by the people that pay for the service.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot more that I've been working on behind the scenes for Camden Fire Department that nobody knows about except the people. It's a small amount of people I've talked to, like maybe 2 people. And these guys need help. They need the citizens. If you're in that fire district, you need to go see what's going on over there and start asking questions. And it really does kind of break my heart to say all this stuff. But those guys put their lives on the line for the people of Camden, and they get treated this way. It's horrible.